What if you travel in the speed of light? How would that feel? How would it affect your body? Would you even be able to see anything? And what about other stuff like time? Please note that some of the explanations discussed in this video are purely theoretical, meaning no physical explanation is available. What if you could travel at the speed of light? Let's explore this fascinating concept in today's episode. This is due to the fact that the passage of time slows down for the moving object, which makes it appear to be shorter in the direction of motion. For example, your mass starts to increase, making it harder and harder to accelerate. You would also start to see things around you moving very slowly, almost as if time had slowed down. In this case, you might be able to see something. As you approach the speed of light, strange things begin to happen, such as time dilation, length contraction, and infinite mass. If you were to somehow travel at the speed of light, you would not be able to see anything in front of you, because time would effectively stop, and the only light you could see is the light emitted from sources directly in front of you. While traveling at the speed of light, you would essentially be in a state of eternal darkness. This is because the speed of light is the maximum speed at which information can be transmitted in the universe. One is the possibility of using wormholes for faster-than-light travel. Wormholes are hypothetical tunnels that connect to points in space-time and would allow for travel between two locations that are very far apart to occur in a relatively short amount of time. Another idea is the possibility of using warp drives to travel faster than the speed of light. Warp drives are hypothetical devices that would allow a spaceship to travel faster than light by distorting space-time around it. These are highly speculative ideas and are currently only found in science fiction. There is no evidence that wormholes or warp drives exist, and they may be impossible to create. So, if you were inside a spaceship that was traveling at the speed of light, you might be able to see the information being transmitted inside the ship. However, this is purely theoretical, since no spaceship could ever travel at the speed of light due to the infinite mass required to do so. Even if you could somehow construct a spaceship that could travel at the speed of light, the fuel required to power it would be so great that it would be impossible to obtain. If you were to look back, you wouldn't be able to see anything, because everything would be moving so fast that it would be blurred together into a bright streak. Since you would be traveling at the speed of light, you wouldn't hear anything either. Since sound requires a medium to travel through, and you would be traveling in a vacuum. Also, according to the equivalence principle in general relativity, if you were to travel at the speed of light, you would experience weightlessness similar to being in orbit around the Earth. This is because gravity is a force of acceleration, and if you were traveling at the speed of light, you would be accelerating at a rate that exactly cancels out the force of gravity. So if you were traveling at near light speed, you would not only experience time differently, but your own body would also appear to be changing in size. According to Einstein's theory of special relativity, as an object approaches the speed of light, its ability to perceive time and space changes dramatically, since time would essentially stop for you while you were traveling at the speed of light. You would not be able to see anything in front of you, because there would be no time for light to reflect off of anything and reach your eyes. Additionally, as you approached the speed of light, your field of view would become extremely narrow, meaning you would only be able to see a very small portion of the universe directly in front of you. Beyond that, everything would be completely dark. This is because the only light that you would be able to see is the light that is emitted from sources directly in front of you, and that is traveling at the same speed as you. Any light that is emitted from sources behind you would be unable to reach your eyes because you would be traveling at the speed of light. The faster you approached the speed of light, the more extreme these effects would become. To answer this question, we have to consider how fast we can actually travel. The fastest man-made object ever created is the Parker Solar Probe. Launched by NASA in 2018, special relativity deals with the relationship between space and time for objects moving at constant velocities. When an object moves faster than the speed of light, space and time cease to have any meaning. In order to understand what happens when you approach the speed of light, let's first talk about what happens at subliminal speeds, that is, speeds less than the speed of light. It has reached a maximum speed of 430 kilometers per hour, or about 270,000 miles per hour. For example, if I were to ask you how long it took for the Parker Solar Probe to reach its maximum speed, you would simply tell me. The amount of time that elapsed between when it was launched and when it reached its maximum speed, however, as an object approaches the speed of light, time begins to become relative, meaning that the duration of an event can depend on the relative motion of the observer. This is because as an object approaches the speed of light, its mass increases infinitely and time slows down to a halt. As a result, if you were to ask someone traveling at near light speed how long it would take for an event to occur, their perception of time would be different from that of an observer who is not traveling at near light speed. This difference in perception of time is known as time dilation and is one of the consequences of special relativity. This is more than 10 times faster than the speed of sound in the Earth's atmosphere, which is approximately 343 meters per second, or about 767 miles per hour. At this speed, the Parker Solar Probe becomes an example of a hypersonic vehicle. Hypersonic vehicles are defined as those that travel at speeds greater than 5 times the speed of sound. This is where things start getting interesting. As an object approaches the speed of light, strange things begin to happen due to the effects of special relativity, proposed by Albert Einstein in 1905. At these speeds, time is considered to be absolute, meaning that all observers will agree on the duration of an event regardless of their relative motion. Another consequence of special relativity is length contraction. This means that the length of an object can appear shorter in the direction of motion. When observed by a stationary observer, in addition to time dilation and length contraction, other strange things start to happen as you approach the speed of light. So, what would you actually see if you could travel at the speed of light? But what if you had a spaceship that could travel at the speed of light? In summary, traveling at the speed of light is not possible with current technology and understanding of physics. There are some interesting ideas related to this topic that are worth exploring further. Thank you for watching and learning with us. We hope that our videos have sparked your curiosity and inspired you to learn more about the world around you. Subscribe to our channel